Yes. So it's like a constant reminder of where I'm going to. So, good morning, sisters. I am Felicia. You can call me Lily. I am a communication analyst, strategist, and consultant. And I know that I'll be working with the UN. And I know that I will also work with world leaders. So that's what we're going to do. So think of what you want to be. Think of yourself in the next 5-10 years. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about it? Now, pick a neighbor. All right. So, can you introduce yourself to your neighbor? See a lot of smiles. Hey. Okay, okay. Okay. Did you do a great job? Did you do a great job? So I believe Joy taught us something yesterday. So let me see if we remember. Can we clock it? Hey. All right, can we be seated? Can we be seated? Our sisters online. Good morning, sisters. Oh, can we see all of the emojis? Good morning. You all are looking beautiful. All of our viewing centers, our viewing hubs. Can we see the emojis? You all are looking absolutely beautiful this morning. And I believe that from yesterday, we had an amazing time. So can we give a round of applause to all of our speakers, our panelists, our hosts, our facilitators. They did an amazing job. You agree with me, right? Did they? All right. Did we learn anything at all? Did we learn anything? All right. So one of the things, or some of the things that I learned was that for your dreams, you need to speak up and fight for it. What did I say? And you also need to choose your battle and push for impact. So can we go again? Choose your battle and fight for it. Let's personalize it. I choose my battle and I fight for it. I choose to speak up and fight for my dreams. I will push for impact. Can we clock it? Hey! All right, so we told us yesterday to make posts on social media. How many of us did that? LinkedIn, Twitters. The hands, where's it above your? All right, so can we scream the official hashtags? That means you people did not post. That's how you catch a thief. I will forgive all of you. I will forgive all of you. I will forgive all of you. So please, let's make sure that we post, we retweet, you put on WhatsApp, you tag the group, tag all of the groups that you're in, tweet about it, go to LinkedIn, make noise about it. Because I mean, it's 5 years. 5 years of telling young girls, regardless of race, regardless of gender. No, of course we are girls. We cannot be regardless of gender. Regardless of race, religion, continent, country. This is 5 years of putting foot to the ground and saying no. Come rain, come shine. We are going to do what? We're going to keep telling the African girls that our dreams are valid. Because our dreams are valid this morning, can we clock it? Yeah, you guys are really excited. There was something I learned yesterday, and I bragged that I was going to do it here for my Kenyan sisters. I was just hearing, nay, nay. I was like, hey, what's going on, nay? My sisters, nay. My Kenyan sisters, nay. Eh? Ah, yeah. I've learned something new, and I'm taking that with. We are going to have the national anthem, and it will be done by Mona Chisom Ibe. Can we put our hands together for her?
Good morning, everyone. Please, can we rise for the anthem? Nigeria, we hail thee, our home and native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign in peace and battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hand on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed. Thank you.
That was some Beyonce move. Can we put our hands together for her again? Are there Gen Zs in the house? Yeah. Are there Gen Zs in the house? We are about to find out. So how many of us are on TikTok? Don't be shy, I won't judge you. How many of us are on TikTok? Okay, so we are going to test our knowledge of TikTok. So I'm going to say the common slangs that we have on TikTok. I want to see whether we know them. Cynthia Ofori. Adibe, I know you now. What is omble? Charlie Temple. Yi. These are really Gen Zs. Pit is meant for those who dig pits. But the joy of the Lord give me baby strength. Abego, who dig this pit for me? Who dig this pit go for listen? Let's clock it, sisters. All right, that is amazing. So we are going to do a little bit of entertainment to just shake off the mood a bit. So, media, are you ready for me? Do you have the beat? So I'm going to explain. There are two sides. We are going to do our nursery rhymes. Jumbo, my son, I sent you to school. You don't know how to spell your name. Yeah, but we are going to do it on a beat. Media, are you ready? Okay, in 2 minutes. So, be prepping. You cannot repeat a rhyme that a side has already done. You cannot. We want to see if it is this side or the other side that we win. And it's funny that Miss Mary is seated here, nay. And if she does not win, nay, you all will go home, nay. And then Miss Divine is here. Want to see who will be the boss, nay. Are we ready for us? Media, oh, don't let me nail you people. You are ready? All right, let's stand up. So I'm going to start so that I'll give you an example. Can we up the beat a bit? Come home, my son, I sent you to school. You don't know how to spell your name. To do. Nobody will go tell what it is. It's obvious who the winner is, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. You people were just divided against yourself. Hey. And it was obvious these people went to Ajebo school. All the songs that came were just, these ones, they went to Pako, community grammar school. This is the side. Let's put our heads together for ourselves. That was fun. So, all right, if we can plug our eyes to the screen, we'll be having the highlights from yesterday. right, that was beautiful to watch. Was it? Okay. So we'll be having the opening remark, and it will be done by someone who, when I read her bio, it was pretty amazing. She is a medical doctor with advanced training in clinical dermatology and aesthetic medicine from Queen Mary University, London. She has over 15 years of experience. She is an international ambassador to the World Spa Organization. She is a founder and CEO of Uno Health Group. You can also call her the Queen of Skincare. She will be joining us online. So can we clock it? Can we put our hands together for her? Sisters online, can we see, the clapping emoji? All right, so while we wait for her, can we just get two people tell us like a little bit of what they learned yesterday? Anybody? Or I call your name. Okay, so I'll pick one from here, one from here. Can we get the mic, please? Okay, so while the mic is going, can we also get the viewing centers so they can also share a bit of what they learned so that we can also get feedback from them? Our viewing centers, are they ready? You can go ahead.
Yeah, so we're gonna speak in French and then someone will translate in English, please.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, great.
Alors, hier, toutes les sessions qu'on a suivies, on a essayé de comprendre en fait que les jeunes filles ne doivent pas arrêter de s'instruire et comprendre que plus nous grandissons, plus nous avons des expériences et nous devons apprendre à oser, à faire ce qu'on n'a pas l'habitude de faire, s'approcher des personnes qui nous inspirent et apprendre de ces personnes. Voilà.
Ok, great. Great.
Vous avez appris, s'il vous plaît.
D'accord. Je disais simplement que hier, on a eu à comprendre l'importance de l'éducation de la jeune fille.
Yesterday, we learned the importance of educating a young woman.
Et le fait d'apprendre des autres, s'ouvrir à d'autres personnes.
Learning from others.
Et également influencer en grandissant.
Equally contributes to our growth. C'est tout?
C'est tout pour moi. Merci.
That is all. Thank you.
Can we put our hands together for them?
Can we have another person from Togo?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, this is Nairobi Viewing Site. My name is Kemani Busi-Wanjera. So yesterday we learned a lot from every speaker, but the main thing that stood out for me and most of us, we would agree, is that the ladies demonstrated everything that we had anticipated. And the lesson that I took from yesterday is that as a lady, there is a lot coming against you. There is a lot hindering your progress. Being a woman itself is however, every speaker yesterday demonstrated that it is very much doable and we can do it. Yes, I think that is what I learned, and my colleague here perhaps will add in something and then we'll pass on to the next person.
I think with you, and we really learned a lot yesterday, and we were so inspired. We learned so much, and I had one lady saying that we should just start anywhere. Don't be afraid, and do not let your weakness put you down. Use your weaknesses as your stronghold. Yeah, so I really learned a lot. I can't just say everything that I learned, but I really grasped a lot. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you can stand up first. Okay, say your name and what you learned yesterday.
My name is Yala. Lesson I learned today is that be confident in yourself. Don't be afraid of challenges. It depends on how to learn that. We all need mentor. Don't let them outside your life. Thank you.
So if you're okay, so I have a volunteer here in front. Let's take one there, we take one here, and then we take one here. Go ahead, please.
Hi everyone, good morning. Black girls.
Your dreams are valid.
All right, yesterday was very impactful. I learned a lot, and then last night I was reminiscing. He said you need to burn the midnight candles if you need to achieve your dreams. I learned so much. I said your dream is yours to fight for, and you need to fight and protect it. One of the key things I learned yesterday is your dreams calling and not just an entrepreneurship. See it more like a calling, and just like you fight for your calling to bring it to light, if you can see your dream as a calling, you're able to fight for it. And one of the particular things I learned that I like very much, she said ask for it, keep asking for it, go for it, demand for it, negotiate for it until it's in your hands. She said push through till you get to a positional level that no one can beat you. At that point, you have a voice, and then you can stand strong. People will always call you a woman, but if you push through and get to that point, at that point, you already have people around you. And one of the things she also said was mentorship. She said, don't only learn from people who are above, learn from your peers. Say, in this journey, you can't stand alone. You need mentors. You need people all around. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll put our hands together for her. We'll wrap that up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Munachi Soibre. And, okay, so what I learned yesterday, one major thing that stuck out for me was when Miss Jane said that your dreams are yours to fight for and yours to protect. So like you are not supposed to, you can't let anyone tell you that, oh, your dream cannot, it can't happen, it can't be possible. And then also God doesn't allow you to dream what you cannot bring into existence. So like dream big, go for it. If you have an idea, write it down and all that. And I think it was Miss Linda that quoted Frederick Nietzsche, and he said, he who has a why to live for can endure anyhow. So no matter the circumstance, no matter like all the, what's it called, all the scorn that people may throw at you, you know what you want, so you have to push for it and go after it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Can we put our hands together for them again? So, okay, so we have Dr. Hilda with us now. I will reintroduce her again, and then we'll give her a round of applause. I said earlier that she is a medical doctor with advanced training in clinical dermatology and aesthetic medicine from Queen Mary University, London, with over 15 years of experience. She is an international ambassador to the World Spa Organization. She is a founder and CEO of Uno Health Group. And like I said earlier, you can call her the queen of skincare. Can we put our hands together for Dr. Hilda Titiloye?
So, good morning, everyone. Let me know if, my voice gets a bit slow. I'm thrilled to be here. Okay, fantastic. I'm thrilled to be here. So I always say that representation matters, right? When you see what people have done ahead of you, it either sets a template for you or gives you a record to beat. I'm a mother of boys, but I'm biased towards the girl child. So anytime I have an opportunity to speak or to interact with a group of girls or women, it is always an absolute delight for me. I cannot tell you how happy I am to be here. I apologize if there are issues with the network. I have been working on that all morning. Yeah. So my name is Dr. Hilda Ashotitiloyi. I am a doctor, I'm a business leader, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm many, many other things. But what has set the foundation for all these hats I wear is that I was once a girl, the Black girl child who had very vivid dreams, vivid big dreams. And those dreams were valid because they have brought me to where I'm at. What is important to note is that I didn't start out knowing exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't start out so well put together. And while within me, I knew that I was very capable, I wasn't confident enough to say or to showcase my capabilities to other people. So trust me when I say that if someone like me can grow into the capacity that I'm at now, then everybody can do it. Everyone that sets their mind to do it can do it. I have so many books, many people say leaders are born. And while truly some leaders are born, a good number of people learn to lead and they learn and become really good leaders. Who a good leader is, to me, is someone that inspires, motivates others enough to achieve a common goal through qualities like vision, integrity, empathy, and effective communication. A good leader builds trust, empowers their team by delegating tasks, right? Showing accountability. They're decisive, they're resilient, and they're adaptable to change. Our journeys and view of the world are usually heavily influenced by our external early exposures. So in medical school, the leadership style is usually authoritarian, and that was what I learned and how I led in my earlier leadership journey. And while this leadership style is very beneficial in the core hospital setting, with the type of business that I wanted to build, early on, I knew it wasn't a leadership style that would serve me, right? And as I became more mature in my journey, I realized that there were other ways of leading people. And I deliberately set out to learn how to lead effectively and wholesomely. So I have very intentionally learned how to be a leader with empathy, a leader with compassion, with camaraderie, and openness to other people's opinions. This meant that I had to unlearn a lot of what I grew up knowing and learned quite a lot as well. I took courses, I read books, I listened and learned from people that had leadership styles I admired and also emulated them. So this brings me to the importance of mentors. I would not be here without mentorship. And I don't mean the Instagram kind, hi ma, please mentor me, that kind of thing. I mean the real kind, where someone can see something in you that you can't see yet, and they invest time in getting you to bloom, providing clarity, perspective. My number one mentor, I always say it everywhere I go, is Dr. Bashir Damalam. He was my first boss, and he guided me intentionally on the path he believed I would thrive best in. And that path is what I am on today. Now that I get to mentor people, I see why other people do it. I've had the opportunity to contribute to another life in a transformative way, but I also learn and discover so much about myself in the process. Mentorship is not a one-way transfer, it's an exchange. I learn from my mentees every day. Their boldness pushes me, their ideas challenge me, their energy reminds me why I started all that I do. And when generations talk to each other, really, when they really exchange ideas, they exchange information, something powerful happens. Wisdom flows in both directions. We aren't meant to do this journey alone. We generally grow faster when somebody reaches back for us and when we reach forward for someone else. I tell my mentees and other mentees that all we need them to do is pay it forward. And so please live with this. As you have poured, as someone has poured into you, you are almost obligated to pour into the person coming from behind you. This way, we build a chain reaction that raises generations. And it would have started with a small spark from an unassuming mentor somewhere. So apart from paying it forward, there are a few things I would like you to live here with. A few things I've learned along the way. There are simple, practical things that you can take with you, and they will serve you long after today. So if you have a notepad, you can write them down. Firstly, your dreams are not too big. They say if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big and grand enough. And this is so true on every level. You should close your eyes and think, that dream, it's scary, you know. Then secondly, start before you feel you're ready. Half of us started careers by doing some trial and error. The secret, the truth is that nobody fully knows what they're doing in the beginning. Things will define themselves. You will understand them better as. Then thirdly, give yourself permission to evolve. The beautiful thing about life, and also the scary thing about life, is that you do not know the person you will be 10 years from now. The person you will be in 10 years also doesn't know who you will be in 20 years. So give yourself permission to outgrow things, to outgrow your environment, to outgrow certain relationships, to outgrow certain habits. When it's time to move to the next level, just do so. Fourth, don't fear rejection. The reason why I'm here today is because what I wanted to do after my youth service was go into the insurance industry, right? I remember I applied to Zenith Bank. I went for the interview, but I failed so woefully. I knew that I didn't do well at that interview. Why? Because I was very unprepared for it. I heard about it late, so I just rushed in there to get the interview done. But because I was rejected there, if I had gotten that job, I probably might not be here, or I might have eventually come back to this place, but it would have taken much more time. So many closed doors are actually divine protection. Then fifth, ask for help and find help. I've always found it difficult to do so, but as I matured in my journey, I didn't even have a choice. Women wear so many hats, and you can't thrive by doing all yourself. I always say that we have seasons in our lives, and the type of help or the type of inputs you will need at each season will depend on the role that the season comes with. 10 years ago, my children were younger, so I needed to put on my mommy hats more. So I needed more help, in taking care of children. As I have grown older in my profession and my children are older, I might not need as much help there, but I need help in other places. So ask for help in your different roles. Delegate and ask for help for all that is delegatable, if there is a word like that. And finally, this would actually be the most important: consistency. So consistency will take you where motivation can't. Consistency will take you where talent can't. Some days you won't feel inspired, you do it anyway. Show up anyway. Everybody has an it factor. There is something about you that makes you very unique, that stands you out from everyone else. Groom it. Groom your it factor with consistency. The discipline in being consistent is what separates dreams from achievements. So now to every woman here, whether you're 14, you're 25, you're 35, your dreams are valid. They're not random, they're not exaggerated, they're not too much. They were planted in you because something in this world needs your voice, needs your gifts, and it needs your brilliance. You will face challenges. You doubt yourself. Many of us do. We still do. But you have seasons where you are tired, where things don't go as planned, where you wonder if your dream is worth it. We have all had those moments. But if you stay committed, your dream will rise. It will open doors, it will create opportunities, it will bless others, and it will build the version of you that you have always hoped to become. So, before I leave, I'll soon be done. I'll leave. I want us to end with a mantra, one line at a time. So if you can hear me, can you say after me? Can everybody chorus? My dreams are valid. Can you hear me? Somebody let me know that I can be heard. I'm being heard. My dreams are valid.
My dreams are valid.
My voice matters.
My voice matters.
My journey is unfolding beautifully.
My journey is unfolding beautifully.
I am becoming the woman my younger self prayed for.
I am becoming the woman my younger self prayed for.
And I will rise.
And I will rise.
You are all powerful, you are capable, and you're all just getting started. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Will you want me to stay on?
So much, ma'am. That was indeed very insightful. Can we give her another round of applause? Our sisters online, can we use the love emoji, the clapping emoji to appreciate Dr. Hilda for that wonderful speech? It got to me. It really got to me. So we'll be taking the first session for today, and we will be talking about public leadership and management. And of course, to facilitate this particular session is a beautiful young Amazon lady, a queen who is a public health enthusiast and emerging development professional. She holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Ilorin, a virtual assistant to the core. She is a lady that believes so much in public leadership and management. So can we put our hands together for Bami Tefan Olayinka Janet? Can we put our hands together for her better?
Thank you so much. Hello, distinguished ladies. You all look amazing. You look really stunning. And Miss Mary, you look gorgeous as ever. All right, I want you to quickly do something for me, right? Can you look to your left or your right? Just speak to the next person close to you. Tell the person you look gorgeous. If you ever feel unseen, if you ever feel like you are not fine enough, have it at the back of your mind as somebody said it to you today that you look gorgeous. Can we do that again? Can you say that again? Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome you all to this morning session. Before we dive into the events for this morning, I've been thinking, right? I thought to myself that, we're all leaders, and one way or the other, we've actually been able to carry on the art of a leader one way or the other. So I want us to chorus this answer. I want to ask a question, right? But I want you to, in one word, tell me what leadership means to you. I want to hear everybody say something in one word. Okay, we're going to do it again, right? What is leadership to you? I can't hear us. What's going on? What is leadership to you? Thank you so much. Thank you. This morning, we're having an amazing speakers this morning. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you very much, and I feel so grateful to be here standing in a room filled with gorgeous women, intelligent, young leaders. I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce our amazing speakers this morning. We have Dr. Zubeida Abubakar and Miss Senede Peace Miktowa, who is representing Dr. Princess Gloria Akombudu, who wish she could be here with us today, but she sends her greetings and her love. Dr. Zubeida Abubakar is currently the UNFPA Nigeria Gender-Based Management Specialist, heading the Gender, Adolescent and Youth Unit. Dr. Zubeida is a development worker with over 20 years, 20 good years, 20 good years of clinical and non-clinical professional experience in public health. I mean, you heard my bio. I am very passionate. Can we put hands together for Dr. Zubeida, please? I'm passionate about public health, and so I'm personal. I feel like I'm particular about this session, and I look forward to what you have to dish this morning. Returning to Nigeria CEO from the WCA regional office, where she served as the social norms and harmful practices specialist, Dr. Zubeida was the gender-based violence specialist heading the gender, adolescent youth unit from 2018 to 2023. I mean, she has done amazing things. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together for this phenomenal woman. She also served as the adolescent sexual and reproductive health analyst between 2014 and 2018. I feel like she has so much going on, and was so excited and delighted to have you this morning in Nigeria CEO. Our UNFPA work has focused on increasing adolescents and young people's access to ASRH and HIV, addressing harmful practices such as child marriage, female genital mutilation, and providing technical support for youth development in line with demographic dividend concepts, gender equality, which is one of the main reasons why we are here. Thank you very much, Ms. Mary, for this beautiful initiative. We're grateful. And women's empowerment. Prior to experience in UNFPA, Dr. Zubeida worked in FHI 360 for 7 years. Can we clock it for Dr. Zubeida? Clack it, clack it, clack it, clack it, clack it. Thank you, Ma. Can you please come forward, Ma? Please put your hands together for Dr. Zubeida. And as well, Miss Senede Peace Miktowa, kindly come forward, Ma. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together. A sounding applause for them, please. Thank you so much. We're delighted to have you both seated here in a room where we have women who are ready to learn and grow and be incited. The Amazon Leadership Initiative extends a warm welcome to the both of you as distinguished speaker at our Leadership Forum.
Thank you.
The thematic areas of the forum are public leadership, management, and civic leadership management, and as well as business leadership and management. Ma, we have a few questions for you, Ma. Based on your, now this question goes to Dr. Zubeida. Based on your extensive experience engaging with diverse communities across Nigeria, how can women leaders in the public space ensure that policy frameworks genuinely reflect the lived realities of these most affected, especially adolescent girls and young women?
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here to represent UNFPA. Maybe I will just start by saying what UNFPA does. We call ourselves a Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency for the United Nations. And our mantra is that every child, every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth should be safe, and every young person's potential should be fulfilled. So I think that sort of just fits into what this is. And as I've been working with adolescents and young people for a long time, I call myself a recycled youth. Because my number of years of
More
work,
like Gen Z.
my years of work shows that I'm not a young person anymore, but I have worked with young people for a very, very long time. And it's amazing what we learn from you. So when you talk about policy being developed, especially when we talk about policies for young people, there's a mantra that the young people we work with say, nothing for us without us. So if we do not consult the young people to hear what they want, how they want it, and if they want it, then the policies completely irrelevant and not responsive to their needs. So this morning there was an exercise where they were using TikTok language. Imagine me trying to form a policy for the TikTok generation. I would be lost. So I need to hear your voices. And that's the first thing that you would need to do. Hear the voices. What do they want? How do they want it? And then you co-create solutions. Now, I also wanted to say that as much as we are, each one of us, a black girl seated here, we're all different. And a policy should be responsive to our diverse needs. It should be inclusive. You know, some of us want things in one way, some of us come from different religions, different cultures, different parts of the country. Some of us are people with disabilities, and if you need to do a policy, you need to hear from the voices of all the different angles so that the policy is truly responsive and representative of, you know, young people. And then you need the data. Data will tell you who needs this, where they are, how many of them are there, where they would want the interventions to be. So without data, we cannot do policy. So that's another very, very important thing. And then we need to co-create. I won't sit here and say I'm going to develop a policy for young people. We need to sit together on the table, hear your voices, and then we co-create that solution. And then I think just make sure that it's sustainable. Because a lot of things that happen is that people like us that work in the donor community, we come in with initiatives. But if it's not sustainable, if it's not building on government initiatives, if it's not going to be driven by the voices of the young people, it's not going to be driven by civil society organizations, then it's not going to be sustained and it's not going to be durable. So we need to make sure that it's something that needs to build onto a structure that's existing. And if the structure is not there, then we need to build it so that it lasts. And just finally, maybe just to make sure that we monitor what we do. Sometimes we do have policies and then times change. For example, when we have COVID, now we have, you know, a lot of technology and digital AI and things like that. So we need to modify. We need to monitor and modify as appropriate as well. And we do that jointly with the stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. Please put your hands together for her. All right, I like what you said, but one thing that stood out for me is the inclusivity. Like, you have to include the youth, the Gen Zs into whatever thing you're doing. Thank you so much for that, Ma. Ma, to you. So, with your decades of experience, I mean, as representative to our honorable, I know that you have an idea and you understand what this is, right? So, with your decades of experience coordinating governmental institutions, development patterns, and regional bodies, how do you perceive the importance of mentorship and intergenerational dialogue in preparing the next generation of women leaders in public leadership and management?
Thank you very much for the question. First of all, before I speak, hello everyone, good morning everyone.
Good morning everyone.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to be here. I would first of all appreciate this privilege, the opportunity given to me by my boss to represent her, Honorable Princess Gloria Kobondo. She's so delighted to be here, and she sends her warm greetings. And she wishes everyone the very best, all future African women leaders right here sitting and seeing and viewing this and experiencing this event. Mentorship is a very special word. It's a very powerful word. Without mentorship, you cannot really go far as a person. That I know. It can't be overemphasized because mentorship is very important as a child. Growing up, you need directions, you need guidance. You need someone to tell you what to do and how to do it. You need inspirations growing up. So, the SDGs Goal 5, I would like to read that. achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. And also the AU Agenda 2063, Goal 17, full gender equality in all spheres of life. I also would mention that mentorship matters. It accelerates growth. It prevents avoidable mistakes. It builds confidence, and it sustains leadership pipelines. As young women, I encourage you to seek mentors. Don't be shy, don't hesitate. Even when you try to reach out and you feel like you're not being given that privilege, you're not being given the entrance, I'll always encourage you, because mentorship is something that you can't do without. You just have to try. And I'd like to tell everyone today that you are being seen. Whatever thing you do in the closet, it really matters. No matter little thing you do, all you just need to do is to be consistent about it. Keep doing what you are doing. Any opportunity you have to seek mentorship, please leverage on it. It's very, very important. If you don't try, you never know. That's just the truth about life. And I also want to say today that resistance is experienced by everybody. Any great leader you see today was never there in the first place. There must have been hard work. There must have been preparation behind closed doors. There must have been failures that has happened. But you just have to make sure that you seek mentorship. In the public sector, you have to seek mentorship. You have to listen. And I also want to reiterate the fact that it's not only having mentorship, you have to be willing to be mentored. If you are not willing, you will not achieve anything. Because not only willing, you have to be open to receive from that mentor. You have to listen to what the mentor says. Even if that mentor in question is telling you to do something that you have already done, you have to do it the way the mentor is saying you should do it. You have to have a blank mind. You have to be very open. Don't act like you already know it. Act like you don't know it. So you take directions the way it's given and you apply it. And once you apply it, believe me, it might look like nothing's really happening at that moment, but trust me, something is really taking place inside of you. And with time, it will reflect in your life. Whatever challenges you're experiencing today, everyone has experienced that challenges. It's just that the way the world works is that most times people see results. They don't really experience, they're not there to see the hard work you have been putting on. Nobody just gets it the first time. Even if, for example, someone gets it the first time, the person must have been doing something. The person must have failed one way or the other behind closed doors. So just know that your dreams are valid today. Know that there's no barrier in this life. You just have to push forth. You just have to give yourself that mentality. Always have a positive mentality. Always believe that there's something inside of you. You don't need to come from a rich background. You don't need to be a very big person for you to break through. What matters is having the mindset, following mentorship, listening, applying it, being consistent, and you will get there, trust me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Peace. Senede, she said something about willingness. Many of us like to be known with people, with names, because you want to say, oh, that's my mentor, that's somebody that speaks to me or somebody that I relate with. But many of us are not open-minded. We act like we know already. We just want to be known with that name, not like we really want to be mentored. So she said, be open-minded. Ladies, be open-minded. Be willing to learn. Be ready to learn. And don't be shy, right? She said, ask questions. Walk up to whoever you want to be your mentor, ask questions, and all of that. Thank you so much, ma. That was so insightful. Dr. Zubeida, with your 2 decades of service in both clinical and public health leadership, what, in your view, is essential for nurturing a new generation of female leaders who are prepared to challenge harmful gender norms and demonstrate women's capacity for excellence across all spheres of public leadership?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me throw a question to the audience, if you don't mind. How many of us have heard of the 16 days of activism? So this is why I'm wearing orange. I normally like dark colors, right? So we are within the 16 days of activism, and this 16 days of activism is about breaking that norm that that violence against women and girls is okay. So by demonstrating your voice, by signifying even in the color that you wear, is about breaking social norms. And I don't know if a lot of us know that about 1 in 5 women in Nigeria actually think that it's okay for their husband to beat them for any one of 5 reasons. And these are all the social norms that we grow up because of the environment that we are brought up in. So let me use myself an example. What was my social norm? My social norm growing up perhaps was, as a core northern girl, Muslim girl, I was expected to go to school, get a good degree, and then get married off, right? Yes. Well, I eventually got there, but at my own time and on my own terms, right? And the reason why I had that was because I had somebody that said it was okay for me to go outside the social norms that my society were trying to impose on me. And what are those social norms that they're just beliefs, right? It's like we believe that we should act a certain way. A northern girl shouldn't have a big voice. A girl should be quiet. Those are norms that we can change. And they're harmful because they stop us from becoming the leaders that we want to become. So let us realize what social norms we exist. One of the things that I think is very, very important for all of us is to know your stuff, okay? If nobody can fault you technically, if you can come up with an intellectual argument about what you want to achieve, then people will be forced to listen to you. So always know your stuff. Be alert, be technical, know your facts, right? Empower yourself with knowledge and information because it is going to get you a very long way. And don't allow anyone to fault you in terms of what you're saying. So it's very important. But be prepared to be mocked. When you're trying to address harmful social norms, people are going to mock you. I don't know how many times people have come up to me and say, you gender people, or you feminist, or you don't know your place in society. And people will try to mock you and break you down. It doesn't matter what they say. You're convinced that your voice matters, and that is what is going to keep ringing in your head. So keep your voice alive for yourself and for all your sisters around you, because you're not doing it for yourself alone. You're also doing it for all of us. Okay. Be ready for the pushback. Culture will tell you you're not supposed to be doing this. Just fight it. We've worked a lot around female genital mutilation in Nigeria, around child marriage. Getting the first national strategy to end child marriage in Nigeria was a struggle because people believe that we shouldn't be talking about such things. We shouldn't be talking about girls getting cut and mutilated. But when you actually go into a community and you sit them down and you say, what does your religion say? What does your culture say? Does it mean we should cause harm to any person? And they'll say no. So if you know your culture, if you know your religion, you can actually use this as a weapon because there is no religion in this world that said women should suffer or women should take the back seat.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
And then just be determined, be convinced, but also have a support circle. It's a tough world out there. Support each other. Sometimes we go out in that and we find that we are the worst enemies of each other, that women are trying to pull other women down. Be your support circle. Find the women and the girls around you that will support you, that will be your voice to raise you up, because it's a tough world out there trying to be a women leader and trying to break the harms. So find that support circle, but care for yourself. Self-care is also very, very important. Know when to stop, know when to take a break, know when to have fun. And it's very important that you balance having a fun as well as working hard to achieve your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Kindly put your hands together for both speakers. Thank you so much. I like that you said, do not conform to the norms. Lend your voice. Don't be quiet when you see that your sisters need you to speak for them. You're not just speaking for yourself, you're speaking for the generation to come. Thank you so much, Ma. I was so grateful. Please, in the audience, do you have questions for these amazing women? Oh, interesting. We are taking just 2 questions. So we're taking one from here and the other from here.
Hello, everyone. Good
okay,
morning.
okay.
Okay. Hello, Ma. My question goes to Dr. Zubaida. Good morning, Ma. My name is Yusuf Zubaida Muhammad. I am a clinical embryologist, productive health advocate. Ma, please, I just wanted to ask a question. Your organization, UNFA, I'm sorry, I don't know if I got that right.
UNFPA.
UNFPA. Ma, please, do you guys do anything that relates? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes,
okay.
we can.
Ma, please, do you people do anything that relates to infertility struggles? Because I'm working as a clinical embryologist and seeing so many women faced with infertility struggles, I started EMP Chronicles, a fertility awareness platform. I also created an NGO that supports women with reproductive issues and also support women with T issues. But it's been difficult putting myself out there because every time I try to advocate for things relating to reproductive health, the backlash comes. One, oh, you're a Muslim, you're from the north, how come would you be talking about reproductive health on social media? And aside that, trying to get mentorship, sponsorship has been very difficult because most times they'll be like, oh, we're trying to stop people from having too many children. And here you are advocating for women faced with infertility struggles. So, Ma, please, I am asking your organization, are women faced with infertility issues included in any way?
The next question, please. Please, online participants, kindly prepare your questions.
Good morning, Dr. Zubaida. I am Hajara, and I am a pharmacist by profession. And I am a recent graduate, and I schooled in India. I just came back, and I'm trying to work things out. But most importantly, my question here is, it took a lot of sacrifice to come back home because I had a lot of opportunities that was so tempting. But then because I wanted to come back home and work towards something I want to do all my life, which is African solutions for African problems, especially in the healthcare space. After coming back home, everybody's like, oh, you are deceiving yourself. Nigeria has absolutely nothing for you. There is nothing you can do here in the system because it pains a lot to see what goes on here in the healthcare system. In fact, it fed my inspiration for my final year capstone project, which is counterfeit drugs in Africa, the impact on the population and economy. So I really want to go into the healthcare system, but before that, I really need to understand what the problems are and how to go about it. You can see from my attire, you can tell that I'm a northerner, I'm a Muslim, and I'm black, which these 3 things really add, it seems to add fuel to the fire of not letting me be in any space that I deserve to be. And most of the times, people say that, oh, you should just go and get yourself married because there isn't much you can do besides being a mother. The best you can do is to just raise good kids. Just hope to have male children that can carry your dreams forward. And that hurts because I don't understand why I shouldn't be allowed to carry my own dreams forward. I am just 21. And someone is already telling me to hope for male children who can carry my dreams forward. So in this situation, I won't mention names, but I've met people really big in a really big organization in this country. And the person slapped my documents at my face and he was like, you're a valedictorian, so what? I was just trying to talk about the system here and how I can help. I've also met someone who works with Africa CDC under the African Union, and I was talking to that person about how data, you spoke about data and how it's very important. We talk about pharmacovigilance, material vigilance. How do you know what to do further with that? We need data that tells us about our patients. So I was like, okay, I can help with this. And he was like, I don't care. You cannot do anything about it. Nigeria is not going to support you. And I told the person, I will do it. And he said, I will do everything I can to make sure you don't. Wow. So what do you have to say about that, please?
So let me start with the second question because that resonates well with me as well. But let me just start by telling you that, you know, that space that you want to be in is the space that you deserve to be in, and the space you're going to be in by God's grace. So my story is very similar to yours, because I went to medical school in Ireland. I worked there for a few years. But, you know, one of the things that kept resonating in me is like, I've had this opportunity, and there's so many girls like me in Nigeria that don't want that opportunity, which is where when I came back, I wanted to work with young girls, really, because every young girl deserves the opportunity I had. And I know what a girl can do when she has that opportunity. Look at the highest ranking female in the UN. It's a Nigerian woman. So I had a lot of backlash. Oh no, come home, come get married. Lower your voice, lower your argument, lower your opinions. Because when you have your opinion, you're going to challenge the men. Well, that man doesn't deserve me, and he doesn't deserve you. And anyone that is telling you that your voice doesn't matter is because they cannot meet up to your standards. So don't be disillusioned, because I went through it as well. And this is another thing why we're so passionate about, and I am so passionate about wearing orange, is because the harassment women go through. I've had so many offers of, you can be my girlfriend, you can be this, you can be that, come and meet me at this. You really want a job? You know, those are not the right places for you, but you continue to be determined. I was very lucky that I had home support at home, right? And, you know, without telling anyone, like my father always used to say that before any daughter of his gets married, she needs to have a master's degree. And he wants us to be able to say to any man that comes to us, you either step up or you go. And that was the empowering I had. So my father was my first example of breaker of social norms and harmful, you know, misbeliefs and patriarchal things. He believed that he had children. He didn't have a daughter, he didn't have a son, he had a child. And he educated and he made sure that every one of us had the opportunity, because you cannot rely on anyone but yourself. So please, as they're pushing you back, continue to push. You have very, very valid things that you want to achieve for everybody in Nigeria. Yes, you can still be the wife. You will still be the wife. You will still have the male child. You will have the girl child. And you will still make that difference for us, because we are suffering from a lot of fake drugs and things like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you as the chief of NAFDAC in the coming years. Don't let anybody break your dreams. You matter, and your dreams are valid.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you.
To my namesake. UNFPA does not work directly with infertility, but I think about 3 years ago, we brought up a report called, it's a State of the World Population Report, and every year we look at the dynamics. And one of the things that we did was look at Nigeria, where we have a very high fertility, and yet there are women who are suffering from infertility that are not recognized within that. Now, UNFPA, I know one of the things that we're known about is about procuring family planning commodities. It's not that we stop women from having children, it's we give women the choice to have children when they want to have children. And so while we don't work directly with that, we do have some data and some information that may be able to help you. So if you look in the UNFPA website and look for the State of the World Population Report, I'm trying to remember, I think it's 2023 or 2022, we did actually look at infertility amongst high fertility. And it's a serious issue for women and girls. And, you know, what we do is provide the psychosocial counseling, but we don't work directly in that field. But there are other agencies that do. So I'll try and think of something before I go and let you know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. That was so insightful. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have our online participants' questions? We're taking two questions. Can we have
Afkar, you had your hand raised. Please ask your question. Afkar Sliman.
Okay. Good afternoon, moms. My name is Catherine Isiraji. I'm from Nigeria. I'm 16 years old. And I have a question for, it's one question, but I feel like I want both of the speakers to answer the question, because I feel like it will give me more clarification on the question. So my question is, people are always talking about mentorship and how mentorship is really important for leadership and females, but how do you find a good mentor who wouldn't affect you wrongly, or who wouldn't exploit you, or things like that? Sorry. My okay. Sorry. My question is, people are always talking about mentorship and how mentorship is important, but my question is, how do you find a good mentor who would understand you and who wouldn't exploit you? Someone that you would understand, especially as a young person, someone you understand and be able to communicate with, and the person would just mentor you in the right way.
Stephanie Obi asks, given that we are celebrating 16 days of activism against gender-based violence and in line with the theme Unite to End Violence Against All Women and Girls, how can young girls unite to stop online bullying of women concerning their reproductive health, especially as now our days not just I think the question ends there. How can young women unite to prevent online gender-based violence? And then Jofith is asking, my question is this. Some of African women grow up in places where accessing mentors or anyone to guide, without anyone to guide them. What habits or systems can we create for ourselves to access mentorship, even when it is not available in our communities? Those are the only questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. The first question, she's asking about how she can find a mentor who would not exploit her, someone who will really be beneficial to her. Okay, in answering that question, I would say, first of all, you have to identify a mentor who is like you, who you feel has gotten to the stage of being the best version of yourself. Let's say, for example, if, for example, you're a lawyer, for example, as a young lawyer or a young law graduate growing up, if you're looking for a mentor, I believe you should go for a mentor who is a lawyer also. So in that light, the person understands you, the person is your kind, the person knows where you the level you want to attain. So the first thing you should do is that you should associate yourself with a mentor who is within your practice area, who is within your expertise area. It has to be someone who you must have observed the person. You don't just walk up to someone like that. If maybe you are aspiring to be a leader, the mentor has to be a leader already. So you are a leader in the making. In law, they would call it barrister in equity. You are not yet a lawyer, but you're a barrister in equity. Equity allows you to be called a barrister. So in that light, you have to associate yourself with someone who has gotten to the stage where you want to attain. So in that light, the person would be in the position to guide you and prepare you. Then you have to, like I said, you have to be willing to. Most of the times, with the younger generation, I'm also in the younger generation, I think we already assume that sometimes it's not always that the adult wants to really use you or exploit you. No. We already assume sometimes, we already make some kind of assumptions in our head. But if you look at the bigger picture, I'm sure when the person gives you directions, the person wants to shape you. The person wants to make you. So most of the times, when it's just like when we are growing up, when we are with our parents, before we are out there in the world, when they ask us to do one or two things, we might frown. Even me, when I think backwards, I might frown and say, oh, they're asking me to do this, they're always asking me to do that. But now that I'm out there in the world, I realized that most of those things I was asked to do actually shaped me and made me a better person. So I feel you should not make assumptions. Don't have the idea that the person wants to use you, exploit you. Just listen to instructions. Follow what you're asked to do. Anything you don't understand, ask. Just listen and just do what you need to do. Just listen, ask questions. And another thing that is very important, once you meet that mentor, try and express yourself on what you want. Be very, very clear. Don't just meet the person and tell the person, oh, I'm this and I want to be this. Let the person know clear vision of what you want to achieve. Let the person know your short-term goals. Let the person know your long-term goals. Once you let the person know, you hear the way the person replies you, then in that regard, you now know if this is a person, this is really a mentor that aligns with where you are going to. So in that regard, you understand, you'll be able to achieve what you want. So there will not be room for if you are being used or if you are being exploited. Then for the second question, where we can find mentors if they are not within close range, I think that would be social media. Social media is also a very important tool. You can access anything, anywhere in the world with social media. So I believe even in those communities, the usage of digital technology, phones and all of that is still accessible. Even if you cannot access a laptop or an iPad, I'm sure everyone in those communities would have a phone, an Android phone, an iOS, whatever you have. So in that regard, you can access mentorship online. You can make use of YouTube. You can put in the search engine, surfing the net. You can ask mentors, or you can ask people who have made a mark in so area that concerns you. So in that regard, you see people, you read about them, they must have uploaded some videos that could be helpful. So I think it's something that every one of us benefits from. Even people who had already make a mark, even when we are doing research and all of that, most of the times, we're not only reading books, we go on social media, we search through different platforms, different social media platforms. YouTube is there, Instagram is there. A lot of videos are helpful. Even when you're not even willing to read, whichever thing you enjoy more, it could be videos, it could be storytelling, it could be any medium, it could be foundations that have the vision that is concerned with what you are looking for. So in that regard, mentorship is still close to you. You have nothing to worry about. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's so rich. Thank you.
Okay, let me just quickly add something about the mentorship. I think let me congratulate all of you here, because having the opportunity to be part of these sort of events makes you know your self-worth, and you understand when people are trying to exploit you and you say no. So that is very, very important, knowing your self-worth and being able to say no when anyone is trying to exploit you. She's already mentioned how you can get the different mentors, so it's great. So let me go to the technology facilitated GBV, because she's also mentioning that one of the things that you could do if you're looking for a mentor outside your community is to go on the internet. The way you choose your friends offline is the way you should also be careful online. So unfortunately, as we say that there's a digital gap with more men having greater access to technology, and we're trying to bring more women into that field, it's also a field that is full of violence. And so one of the things that you need to do is, just as you have your red flags when you're making friends, please have your red flags when you're online as well. You have to be very, very careful who you allow into your space. Unfortunately, technology facilitated GBV is becoming more and more real, but even UNFPA is advocating with the government of Nigeria to have policies and laws that protect women and girls, men and boys against technology facilitated GBV. So Nigeria is not being quiet. We were with NIDDA in a conference about 2-3 weeks ago, and NIDDA is the arm of government that is, set to be able to have laws and policies to be able to address technology facilitated GBV. So they are trying to track accounts, track stalkers, track, anyone that's trying to do any kind of violence online, and to bring down their accounts, and then to work with the police. There's a cybersecurity arm of police to track them. So please raise your voice when that thing is happening. Do not keep it quiet, because it's the same thing with even offline gender-based violence. People keep quiet. It's your right to be able to have your voice in a public space. It's your right to have your voice in a private space. So please speak up when anyone is trying to take that voice away from you. There are things that the government is trying to do to address that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for our speakers. She said, look out for the red flags and look out for the green flags. We all know what the red flags are. Red banner, in fact. Open your eyes. Shine your eye way. Don't overlook the flags. Don't say, oh, maybe she's in a bad mood today. Maybe she's not feeling well today. Look out for the flags, and that's it. As we round up, I'd like to say a very big thank you. Thank you so.
Apologies, we are being taught to not keep our voices inside, and that is why I just want to go on. Dr. Zubeida, thank you so much. My name is Amina. I'm a graduate of Human Anatomy, and I'm currently serving under the NYSC. And I want to further my education as a medical doctor. And I am requesting for you to be my mentor, to see me grow from admission to being that medical doctor.
Congratulations, Amina. Just to tell you that my first degree was biology, then I did my medicine as a second degree. So that was the determination that I knew I wanted to be a doctor. Even when I didn't make it the first time, I went back and I kept trying till I went to medical school.
Thank you so much. That was so on the spot. Oh my God. I believe you're going to have lots of mentees from here today, because I'm a public health enthusiast and I'm going to speak to you after now.
I look forward to the conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such an insightful session. Thank you so much, Miss Peace. We're so, so grateful to have the both of you today. And every young girl here today, a young female leader in this room, I believe something has shifted. And I believe you're not living here only inspired, but you're living here transformed. What do we have here? Oh my God. Okay, so I think we've come to the end of this session. Okay, you can just maybe hand it over to the host. Oh, all right. Yeah, this is so beautiful. Please put your hands together. This is so thoughtful of you.
I don't have words. I'm actually.
Thank you. I think you should take a picture. Let's take pictures.
I was just hoping that I'll meet you today. Thank you. I was looking forward to come here today and meet you, and I was hoping that you come here physically. It's been so difficult. We all, just like what she said, being a Northern girl, being a Muslim, and trying to put your voice out there is difficult. Very, very difficult. And trying to get a mentor is also difficult, especially for myself. In the reproductive health field, it's just my third year as a clinical embryologist and reproductive health advocate, and I've faced so many backlash. Early this year, I had to walk out of an engagement simply because I speak about reproductive health. It's that serious. So thank you for inspiring so many of us. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much.
Can we do that much more better? Can we put our hands together for them again? So on behalf of TheALI, every single person from Miss Mary to all of us that are seated in the room, we want to say thank you and also give you this token of our love.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much.
So we are going to take a family photo, just like we did yesterday. So can we all stand, please? Let's fill up the spaces, fill up the spaces. Can we fill up the spaces?
Yes.
Let's come together. Let's come together and fill that space.
Okay, no, we are ready. We are ready. Huh?
Watch the mix. Here we go, here we go. Somebody watch the mix, watch the mix.
That's good, that's good, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, we are ready for you now. We are ready for you. We are ready for you. So everyone smile. Everyone smile. Everyone smile. All right. Say TheALI at 5. Black girls. Black girl. Black girl. All right, now, so I want you to look up at the drone and wave at it. As you say, black girl, my dreams are valid. 1, 2, 3, go. Black girl, my dreams are valid. Again. Black girl, my dreams are valid. All right, so you're going to hold on because I need to be in that picture, okay? Plug it, girls! All right, can we quickly have a sit? We can meet up. There'll still be time to network, please. Ladies, hey, can we have our seat, please? Can we please have our seat? Can we be seated, please? So we will be having a short clip by Eva to just show us something a little bit. We'll be, if we can just put our eyes, fix our eyes on the screen.
Ladies, if you've ever said, wait, my period is today, then this app is for you. But what if I told you there's an app that just gets it? It's the Diva app. Clock it, guys. And you may ask, what is Diva app about? It is a personal menstrual health assistant designed for young people like you. On the Diva app, you get to track your menstrual cycle with accurate reminders, share your period stories, and learn from others too. No shame, no judgment. And you can chat to the counselor privately anytime you need guidance. And lastly, you can access period products and services directly from the app. So, no more guessing when your period will show up every month. Download the Diva app on Google Play Store and App Store today. Ladies, if you've ever said, wait, my period is today, then this app is for you. But what if I told you there's an app that just gets it? It's the Diva app. Clock it, guys. And you may ask, what is Diva app about? It is a personal menstrual health assistant designed for young people like you. On the Diva app, you get to track your menstrual cycle with accurate reminders, share your period stories, and learn from others too. No shame, no judgment. And you can chat to the counselor privately anytime you need guidance. And lastly, you can access period products and services directly from the app. So, no more guessing when your period will show up every month. Download the Diva app on Google Play Store and App Store today.
So valid. All right, so we'll be moving very quickly to the next session, and it will be on civic leadership and management. It will be on civic leadership and management. And to do this, to facilitate this session is Ms. Joanna Dabota. She is a public speaker, technology advocate, an excellent host and facilitator. You can also refer to her as the energy goddess. She inspires others through the use of technology and AI. She is one of those people who believe that AI cannot take our jobs. They can only make them better. So can we put our hands together for Ms. Joanna Dabota? Those are sisters online. You can also use the fire emoji to do that. Can we fix our eyes on the screen if we are ready, media?
Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I see the energy online. I love how you people are interacting. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back again after the tea break and the photo session that we had to the Ali 2025 forum today. I am your facilitator, Joanna Bota, and I'm so glad to have you guys today. And for everybody participating, whether you're online or on site, I love the energy that you guys have. Thank you for bringing such fire to the forum today. And I want to encourage everybody that you should be the energy in the forum today, because you are standing in the presence of different female leaders who have been the giants that we should be sitting on their shoulders on. So I want you guys to make as much noise as you can in the forums today. And I want you to encourage you people that today is the day where you can also show that you are a youth leader for today and tomorrow. So because of that, I want everybody to post the photos that you took, anybody that you interacted with and networked with, you can tag them, you can tag the Ali, and also those people joining us online like myself. Please take those photos and post them in any social media platform that you're in, using the hashtags and also tagging the Ali and anybody else that you interacted with while online. Are we ready to get into the civic leadership and management session, everyone? Because your dreams are definitely valid, and this session shows you exactly why it should be so, because it's about leaders that also use their strength to protect rights and demand accountability and build institutions that truly serve people. So without taking much of your time, I will be getting into the speaker today. We have joining us Ms. Funke Adeoye, a human rights lawyer and social entrepreneur who has spent over a decade defending vulnerable people, expanding civic spaces, and championing access to justice within Nigeria. She holds a law degree from the University of Benin and a master's in international human rights law from the University of Oxford. As the founder of Hope Behind Bars Africa, her work has led to the release of numerous wrongfully incarcerated individuals, including those detained for exercising their fundamental human rights. She is a Mandela Washington Fellow, an Acumen Fellow, an Ashoka Fellow, and one of Addicts London's top 50 lawyers changing the world for the better. In 2023, she was recognized for the prestigious Watley's Global Citizen Prize. Ladies, if that's not the lady that you need to be listening today, I don't know who else you want us to bring to the platform. So please welcome the extraordinary Miss Funke Adeoye to the stage. I need to see 5 emojis in the chat. I need to hear your clap, ladies, and make so much noise as we welcome Miss Funke Adeoye to the stage.
Joanna, please continue.
All right, okay. I was told that you people can't see, so hi. Can I see waves in the audience? I don't know if you people can see me. Right. Thank you for everybody making noise in the chats and also the people listening. I hope everybody's able to take notes. The Amazon Leadership Initiative extends this warm welcome to our distinguished speaker on the Leadership Forum. Today, civic leadership is about a woman who creates spaces that can effectively advocate for justice, champion transparency, and manage civic organizations with integrity and impact. So without taking much of your time, Ms. Funke, we're gonna go through a couple of questions today. I hope you don't mind. I don't know if you have the mic, but we can get into it. As an inspiring, hello, you can hear me? All right. as an inspiring leader who has combined strategic litigation with social entrepreneurship to free wrongfully incarcerated individuals and expand civic spaces in Nigeria, how do you merge justice and innovation in your work within the civic space?
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so it's been an insightful conversation today. I was here about 2 hours earlier, and throughout this week I've been in different spaces, but I cannot underestimate the fact that this is one of the powerful spaces I've been in this week. And the fact that you are here, you should actually be very grateful that you're here. Please, if you're clapping, clap for yourself. Clap for yourself, yes. This is a very incredible space. We're having powerful conversations here. And you would not know how incredibly powerful this is until you look back at yourself this day in the next couple of years. And you realize how life-changing some of the things that come out of here today and perhaps yesterday would be to your journey. I want to thank the leadership of the Amazon Leadership Initiative for inviting me, Mary Zobo. I'm meeting you for the first time, but I've heard so much about you. And of course, I think Esther, who I met in Kenya a couple of months ago, and she had told me about this initiative. I think this is a phenomenal thing going on here. Okay, so quickly to the question that was asked. I would like to start by just giving a bit of a background about the work that I do, and also about myself, because I think that the power we get from spaces like this is in hearing each other tell our stories. So I lead an organization called Hope Behind Bars Africa. Perhaps some of you might have seen our work around. As the name implies, our goal is to give hope to people who are behind bars. So when you think of violations within the criminal justice system, violations done by the police, violations done where people are kept in prison or are incarcerated for years on ending without trial, that's where you find us. Some of the cases that we've handled are cases of people young people, not just older people. In fact, a good portion of the people we have in our prisons are people who are below 30. So for instance, I don't know how many of us saw the viral case of a photographer who resigned from his place of work via a text message, and he was incarcerated for 9 months just because his boss thought he was rude to resign via a text message. And I recall meeting with this young man after we got him out, and I said, I went through the text message. The text message actually sounded rude. And I said, why did you do this? And in his typical Gen Z manner, he's like, well, I was tired of the place. Those are the kind of people that we get out. We've had cases of a young girl who was a child bride at 13. She was married off to a man 2-3 times her age. And for the longest time, she wanted to leave the marriage. It wasn't forthcoming. She endured all forms of spousal abuse, rape from the man. And then on this fateful day, she went out. She ran away, actually, and then she got back. And it turned out that her stepdaughter, had fallen into a well. And she was held to have committed the murder of her stepdaughter. Her name is Aisha. When I met her at Kefi prison, she had spent 3 years awaiting trial. At the time, she was 16 years old. So just in case you think that the people that go to prison have to be adults or they have to be older, that's not the case. So why did I start this work? Why did I start Hope Behind Bars Africa? And I'm coming to your question. I have lived experience of what happens when the justice system favors the poor. And I don't think this is just a Nigerian thing. For those of us that are coming from other parts of the world, even from places like Tanzania, I mean, there's a current case in Tanzania of a TikToker. How many of us use TikTok here? Yes, there's a current case of a TikToker who I think is about to be sentenced to death because she spoke out on TikTok. So those are the kind of cases that we handle. One more, last year, I don't know how many of us saw the cases of the children who were remanded for 90 days because they were part of the End Bad Governance protest. That was our case. We facilitated their release. Please clap if you want to clap. Yeah, so why did I start this? And I think this is really critical to a lot of the conversations that probably came out yesterday and some of the things I heard today.
I started this, like I said, because I have lived experience of what happens when the justice system fails a man. My dad spent time in incarceration for a crime he had no business, he had no business being in prison for. And I was young, like I was about 9 years old at the time, and I recall when he eventually got out, even before he got out, it traumatized my family. I had to stay out of school for a whole year because my dad was a breadwinner. And I told myself, I want to try and change this. And so I went to study law. And to be honest, my journey wasn't it wasn't straight. I recall going to law school and then telling myself, well, there's no money in human rights law. I'm not going to do this. I tried delving into maritime practice. I tried delving into corporate practice. I even remember trying to leave the country to do my master's in maritime law because my boss at the time, who was a senior advocate of Nigeria, was a maritime lawyer. And it just didn't work out until I had to find my way back to criminal litigation and back to, human rights law. And so that takes me to the question that was asked about how I'm able to marry justice and innovation. It's first of all that when you find a problem or when you find a challenge that you're very passionate about, you need to go for knowledge. You need to know what you want to do. So at the time, before I started Hope Behind Bars Africa, I had spent about 4 or 5 years practicing law in a regular law firm. I had tried my hands on criminal litigation, and I knew that this is something I was very passionate about. And so when I dealt with the files that were different from criminal law, yeah, I do my best, but when I, work on files that had to do with criminal litigation or criminal defense, it was something that really made me tick. So I think the first thing is going for knowledge and understanding that this is something that I really want to do. And then secondly, that you have to really understand the issues. Someone earlier was talking about, the issue of lack of data and all of that. Many of the challenges that we face as developing countries or as third world countries are challenges that are called wicked problems. You don't deal with them using one approach. A lot of them have multifaceted, issues around them. So let's talk about the justice problem, for instance. I am a lawyer, but I don't try to address this with my legal knowledge alone. I don't try to address this with strategic litigation alone. I'm looking at things like innovation. I'm looking at things like policy. I'm looking at things like collaboration, which is really, really critical. In fact, for the first 3 years of running my organization, I survived solely on collaborations because nobody's just going to wake up and give you funds to do your work because you have passion or because you have a good idea. So for the first 3-4 years, I survived on collaborations. I had to bootstrap the organization. I had to work with volunteers. And that's why you know that you can't do this alone. But predominantly, I think what has been a game changer for me has been innovation. The fact that I enter a room and I'm not just throwing the fact that I'm a lawyer around. I'm throwing the fact that I am also an innovator. So for instance, if you go through the work that we do, you see some of the innovations that we've built over time. You see that we have a toll-free line that are we together? All right, so I'm talking about innovation, to the question that was asked about justice and innovation, and I'm saying that the future we are trying to build would actually come about by innovation. And when we talk about innovation, please, innovation is not just about technology, even though technology is critical. So we have tested a couple of innovation. If you go online, you see our work, you see our toll-free line. In fact, a lot of the protesters, last year we were able to support over 2,000 protesters across the country, and a lot of them got to us. Thank you. A lot of them were able to reach us by calling us on our toll-free line, something that you would not find a legal aid council, doing. Another innovation that we recently launched, which I think is going to be a game changer, you guys should watch out for it, is our Farming Justice Project. Now, why there is a justice aspect of my work, which is the providing legal services, doing pro bono support, we're also very conscious of the fact that a lot of people go into incarceration, a lot of people go into prison, And, when they come out, they have not actually been rehabilitated. And so we're talking about high insecurity in the country. We're talking about high crime rates, but nobody is talking about rehabilitation and reforming of the people in there. Now, when you look at the root causes of why a lot of them were in there, most of them is socio-economic in nature. So for instance, we had a client one time, not a client, I was in court one time, and I met someone who had, who was being convicted for 2 years for stealing cashew nuts. We had somebody this is a very sad story. We met somebody at Suleja prison one time. We met his mom. So the mom owed the debt, and then she was arrested by her debtor for, I think she had been there for about 7 or 8 weeks or thereabouts. Now, while she was there, one of those days, if you've been to Suleja facility, you know that the prison, where the women are kept is different from where the men are kept. But then they have a hall where they sort of like do religious, like church and, worship service and all of that. So one day she came out of the cell. She was going towards that hall, and the men, you will see the cell for the men outside. And as she was going, she saw someone. Guess who she saw? She saw her son. Now, this is the story. Her husband is deadbeat. She has 5 children. She owed the debt, and the person arrested her, kept her there because she could not pay up her debt. In the process, her son went to steal ogbono. I don't know what's the botanical name for ogbono. Ogbono, you know ogbono. Yeah, the son went to steal ogbono, and he was arrested, and he was brought to Suleja facility. I think he just turned 18 or thereabouts. And it was the prison warders that told us this story. They said the woman just broke down and started crying. And when you look at some of these things, you ask yourself, what is our government doing about issues like this? Because it's a circle. Incarceration is a circle. I believe that if you do the crime, you do the time. But I also believe that, our government is not doing enough in providing a buffer for people that are from socioeconomically declined backgrounds. So the innovation we had to bring in is to collaborate with the Nigerian Correctional Service to say, for people who find their way into the facility, either because they don't have an education or they don't have opportunities to earn an income, we are going to provide a solace for them through agriculture. This has nothing to do with technology, because most times when we think about innovation, is not just about technology. So if you go online now and you just Google Farming Justice Project, you would see the items, the products made by prisoners in this Abuja, in Lagos, in Edo states. Last week they brought the fish to the office that the inmates, sort of like worked on themselves. Okra, watermelon and the likes. And for us, the next step is looking beyond ourselves, because one thing you must know if you're interested in civic engagement or civic leadership is that you cannot solve the civic problems of your country. At the end of the day, the government is the one that is supposed to provide access to justice to people. The government is the one that is supposed to help reform inmates. So for everything that you do, and I don't think it's too early to say this, because most times when we start, we're passionate about these things. We want to donate items, we want to donate pads, we want to do awareness, advocacy, all good. But your long-term goal should be, how can I collaborate with the government? How can I give the government ownership of this thing in such a way that is sustainable, and it's sustainable and it's productive at the end of the day. Thank you.
Wow, what an impactful session. I can't emphasize enough about what she said concerning innovation cannot just be about technology. Even the ideas that you have now to create movement within your communities can be an innovation. You don't need to create the next AI app. Yes, I'm saying this as a tech person, because innovation can be anything that you put your mind to that can change a community. Thank you so much, Ms. Adeoye, for that incredible session. We have 2 more questions to go, and then we can go with the audience. Those who have questions, even those in the chat, please keep your questions. We can ask still at the end. We have 1 more question for you. You have mentored young women and led impactful justice initiatives, as you said in your answer, and have been recognized globally for your work, including by the Mandela Washington Fellowship and Ashoka. So, based on your journey, what is your vision for the next generation of young African women in civic leadership?
I was telling Mary that what was the awards that were mentioned in my bio? It's not even complete because 2 weeks ago, I was recognized by the International Bar Association for being an outstanding lawyer. Please check it out. And I think that's the best way I can answer this question, that African woman, you actually can be more. You can be more, you can be more. It's funny because, yes. You can be more because I recall as I came out, so this ceremony happened in Toronto. By the way, I think the first African actually to win that award. When I was called out, I had tears in my eyes because I am your typical Nigerian story, right? My bio talked about me going to Oxford and all of that. That happened after I started my work. I didn't come from your perfect family background. I recall, in fact, it took me 12 years to get a scholarship I wanted to go to my dream school before I went to my dream school. And so my dream for African women, first of all, is that they realize that they carry within them power to be more. I can get more vulnerable here. I started my organization at 25. I'm currently 33. I started my organization 3 months after I had my first child. In fact, I started my organization 3 months. So it's an interesting story, and I think I'm the only panelist that I could quickly share that. So I talked about how my dad had challenges and how I went to law school and how somehow I left the path. I wanted to make money, blah, blah, blah. And then I used to work in Lagos, and then I came into Abuja in 2018. Now, by the time I came into Abuja, I recall that I wanted to work in development space. And this is something that you need to hear, that if they don't give you a seat at the table, be ready to build your own table. I am a big advocate for learning. I'm a big advocate for learning under people. I'm a big advocate for getting a seat at the table because you can't do a lot of these things on your own, right? And in my experience, I tried when I came into Abuja. You know, Abuja is a space where you have a lot of the development organizations. I applied for internships. At the time, I already had 4 years experience as a lawyer. I applied for internships. I stayed away from the law firms in 2017, sorry. I stayed away from the law firms. I applied for internship positions, volunteer positions. None of them were forthcoming. I sent mails. None of them were forthcoming. And then in 2018, March, I was pregnant with twins. And then again, I hate to use this word, but the word people typically use, Nigeria happens to me. And I lost one of the twins. I had to go into emergency C-section. And thankfully, one of them survived in March 7th to be precise. And I recall coming out of that challenge and saying to myself, I'm going to sue. You know, it was a government hospital. They messed me up, blah, blah, blah. But then I had to go back to my faith. So I'm a person of faith. I had to go back to my faith, prayed about it, and I just knew that this is supposed to be a wake-up call for me. This work that God had put in your heart to help prisoners is something that is not going to leave. And so I say this story to explain how I didn't have it wasn't the perfect time. I just had, you know, my C-section, you know, and then I wanted to start this organization. I didn't have any form of support. I didn't have funding. You can as well say I didn't even have a job. Other than the freelance opportunities I used to get as a lawyer. But then May 29, 2018, I wrote a letter to the Nigerian Correctional Service, and I said I wanted to begin to use my skill as a lawyer to provide pro bono support to awaiting trial inmates in prison. And then he approved. And that was the beginning of what is Hope Behind Bars Africa today. The reason I make reference to this story is because it's for you guys to understand that you never get the perfect time, right? You could say I was just healing from a surgery. I mean, at the time I knew that I wasn't going to be a housewife. It's fine if you decide that that's what God has called you to be a housewife. But for me, it wasn't a thing. So spending 3 months at home with the child alone, I just knew that I needed to get out. Thankfully, I had a supportive spouse. You know, I had a very strong supportive system, which is really, really important. Because, to be honest, in this world of ours, as women, you really cannot be everything you want to be on your own. So it's important that you have people that are around you, who align with your values, who understand what you want to do, and who are willing to support you. So back to the question, my vision for African women, first of all, is for them to understand that they can be more. And it's fine for your dreams to be bigger than you. I don't think I have as much support from Nigerians as I have from outside the country. And it's interesting, right? Because, I even recall my dad calling me. I love my dad. The story behind how I started this work stems from my dad. But I recall my dad calling me and telling me that you want to do prisoner's lawyer. Your reward is going to be in heaven. And when he told me this, I was broke, guys. I was broke. I was dead broke. Let me explain to you how I was bootstrapping my organization the first 3 years. I would do I would take up cases, or I would do CAC work. For those who know Corporate Affairs Commission, I register organizations for people and all of that. Every money that comes, it goes into the organization. For the first 3 years, I had no knowledge, and that's another thing. You guys are really lucky. For those of you that are part of this initiative, that you're getting all of these experiences and getting all of these, mentorship trainings and whatnot. You're extremely lucky, trust me. Because I had nothing. I say that if perhaps I know what it is to run an NGO in 2018, maybe I would have not gotten myself into it. Because it's beyond being a lawyer. You have to understand fundraising. You have to understand partnership building. I'm that person, I don't know how to network when I started. My thought process at the time is, do the work, people will come to you, money will come to you. Story. I didn't know that no matter how good the work looks, no matter how people tell you, oh my God, you're doing a good work, oh my God, you helped somebody get out, you still have to follow up, you have to show your workings for them to give you funds. I didn't know all of that. But then, I had to basically learn in my journey that I needed to build capacity, I needed to build thought leadership. And today, I can say that to a very large extent, I don't have to struggle to use my money to fund the organization, from the European Union to organizations from outside the country. Thank you. 3 days ago, I was at the Norwegian embassy, and the feedback the ambassador gave me was that they were surprised at the reports we sent to them. We were the youngest organizations they were funding this year. We're just 7 years old. And then they had other OG organizations that are like 15, 16, 20 years. And they were telling me, these other organizations were, one other organization was giving them issues, and they were shocked at the excellence in our report. And that's my next point, that as women, we face intersectional challenges. As an African, you're already disadvantaged. As a Nigerian, it's higher. Now, as a woman, it's more. So it behoves on us to build capacity in such a way that wherever you enter, nobody is going to challenge you. And that comes from building thought leadership. That comes from imbibing a spirit of excellence, right? Even if you're not born with excellence, even if you're not born with a silver spoon, even if you're not the person who had maybe like a first class from the university or something, you can actually build excellence. And when you enter into a room, nobody is going to say, oh, you are not worth it. I said earlier that if you're not given a seat at the table, build your own table. Today, and it's interesting because, when people talk about, it's not really karma, but when people talk about full circle, you think it's going to take a long time. No. I can tell you guys 100% of the organizations that I knocked at their door when I started, and they didn't open their doors for me. Today, we are sitting on the same table collaborating. And when I look at the story, right, when I look at the story, I look at it and I'm like, it's crazy how just believing in yourself can be a game changer. Because it starts from believing in yourself as an African woman. It starts from telling yourself, yes, there was something I noted here, that you can have it all. I know a lot of people might not agree with me. But I think you can have it all. Maybe not at the same level. So when I say you can have it all, I say this carefully because I don't want to assume everybody wants to marry and have kids. It's fine for you to be whatever it is you want to be, that you think you came into the world to be. But assuming you're one woman who thinks, oh, I want to have kids, I want to have a husband, I want to have a family, you can't actually have it all. Now, how do you have it all? It's not, it might happen in such a way that you don't have everything at the same time. But I think it's it's putting ourselves at a disadvantage if we think that because you're a wife, you cannot have a PhD, or you cannot aspire for more. Before I got married, I told my husband I'm going to do I didn't get a master's before I got married, and I said I'm going to do my master's and I'm going to do it outside the country. Like, this is a conversation that we had, and we agreed, irrespective of what happens, it's going to happen. And then I got married, and to be honest, I even sort of like slagged. You know, I wanted a scholarship. I wanted to go to Oxford. It wasn't forthcoming. And then I said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to take the form of one of the Nigerian universities for now. Later on, perhaps I can do this Oxford thing. And my husband reminded me that, boy, this is what you've always wanted, right? I went ahead. I took the form. I even started the program. And I recall my first 2 classes, it was online. I would go into class and I would see my lecturer's nose. He's talking, he's teaching. And this is me that has tried to imbibe the spirit of excellence. And I'm like, why is my lecturer teaching me and I can't even see his face? He's not using slides. 2 hours, he's just talking. All the money I spent in that master's wasted because I dropped out, right? But eventually I got into the program I wanted, with the scholarship I wanted. That's something else I should quickly mention here. And I usually say this in small rooms or with like my mentees. You should not be, as an African woman, you should demand for more. There's no reason why anybody in this room should think she cannot get a scholarship to study in the school of her choice. You know, most times you have all these aspirations, but then you don't work towards it. And I'm going to close, and I'm going to, wrap up my thoughts here to say that when you have a dream that you can be more, when you have a dream that you can change things, you can shape spaces, then you have to build capacity. You have to believe that when I enter into this place, it will happen. I had to apply to Oxford 3 times, but I told myself I'll keep applying until they look at my application 1 year and say, this person has applied too much, let's just give it to her. So that's where your consistency, comes in. That even when they say no, you have to keep coming back. You have to keep coming back. As you're coming back, you're building capacity. Because when I look at my Oxford applications the first year, I look at it and I'm like, what was I thinking? So that's the other thing, that delay is also not denial. Thank you. I feel like I'm going into so many things.
No, Miss Adeoye, that was such an impactful session. Ladies, give a round of applause for this impactful woman who has shown us that leadership takes so much courage, and you're not just alone. It depends on you have on your side. It depends on the vision that you have and the collaborations that you make. Remember what she said. That if the seat on the table is not given to you, ladies, create the table and make it bigger, okay? I need you to write in the comments that if a seat is not given to you at the table, you should definitely build your own table and make it bigger. Can you leaders clock it today? Is every female leader clocking that today? Thank you so much, Ms. Adeoye, for that impactful session. I think for the next few minutes, 5 minutes, we'll just take 2 questions from the audience and 2 questions online if we have any questions. Can the mic be passed to people raising their hands? I think due to time, I've just been informed that we can take 1 question from the audience and 1 question from online. So if you can hurry that up, please.
My name is Yakuba Habiba, and I am a historian. I am very moved by the innovation part of your discussion because you are a lawyer. And one time I aspired to be a lawyer, and Nigeria happened, as you say, unfortunately. I applied for law. I was given history. Now I love history more than anything, even more than law. But I'm not leaving law. I'm still going to go back to a law. I'm going to go back for a 2nd degree in law. Fortunately, if I do get the chance, which I will get, I will fight for that chance. So in the innovation, okay, thank you. And the innovation part you've spoken of, I'm very, very interested in the hope behind bars initiative that you're doing right now. And in the part where you said that the end game should be to get the government involved. Right now, there are some of us young people who are very much in the bubble of their fields. I am a historian in Nigeria, a female. I know that I cannot remain within the bubble of being a historian. I've applied for internship just like you've applied. I've applied for volunteer positions. I've knocked at those that have told me that you are a historian. What would you do with it? So I hope to break the bubble of history, try other short courses, even venture into public policy and law, like I said. So in the public policy space, I believe you've been trying to negotiate with the government, the policy making that has to do with people behind bars and rehabilitation and all of that. So how is the public policy space for you? Because right now that is what I'm very, very interested in, policy making. Thank you.
Do I respond to this or wait for the second question? I should respond. Okay, thank you. And I mean, I think a lot of us know this story of people who applied for law and then they give them library science or something else. And the first thing to say is that history, I admire you guys. I did not engage a lot with history at my undergraduate level. I went to Uniben, but I did in Oxford. And you guys are something else because, you know, it takes a lot of brain power to be able to engage with history. So amazing course already. And then if you decide to take law as a second degree, which I think it's a great one. I mean, I had lots of people who came back to study law. It's a great one. If you can do that, amazing as well. Now, policy. A lot of the challenges that we face as a country is because of two things. Either we don't have the right policy or we have bad policies, or we lack implementation of these policies. Now, with the right policy, a lot can change. The right policy and the right leadership, a lot can change. But if we have right leaders and we don't have good policies, we'll be going round and round in circle. So yes, I totally think that, especially when you're looking to civic leadership or civic engagement, policy is the way forward. Now, I didn't start thinking about policy in the first year of running Hope Behind Bars Africa, because I needed to have anecdotal evidence. I needed to work with data. I needed to have field experience of what is really happening. I needed to have statistics, not just what I see online or what is written, but also to be able to enter into a room and contribute to discussions, right? For the government to listen to me, they need to see me and see my organization as a thought leader that has tried to profile solutions, and to some extent our solution is working. So that's our experience. Now, when you begin to engage the government, it's not the easiest thing. One of the easiest things to do is to try to engage the government, especially the government of our country, because we have different kind of actors in this space. Some of them you ask yourself, what are they really doing there? Do they even understand the fact that they owe a duty to Nigerians in the seats that they occupy, right? And then for me, I interface with the security architecture. So not just Nigerian Correctional Service, I interface with the police. For the lawyers in the house, I interface with the judiciary. And we all know what it is like to interface with the bench and try to profile policies for people at the bench. It's a whole lot. So first of all, is for you to understand that trying to work on public policy is not one of the easiest things. But again, I think what makes a difference is thought leadership, is that knowledge that you have. What do you bring to the table that is different from what other people have provided? How have you tested what you are proposing? Or even if you've not tested it, what knowledge do you have about people that have tested it and how it would work in a particular context? So that's something that you really need to think about. And I often say something about Nigeria. We are one country that is incredibly blessed. I call myself an incurable optimist when it comes to Nigeria. A lot of people ask why I didn't stay back in the UK after Oxford, or why I'm not jackpying or relocating. And that's because I believe so much in what I'm able to contribute to this country. And so to tell you that if what it is you're proposing is not being accepted today, it does not mean it won't be accepted tomorrow. But one thing you have to do is to keep at it, right? Keep building capacity, keep engaging, keep building the right relationship and the right partnership. Today, we have access to different correctional facilities across the country. In fact, yesterday, somebody was asking me, how are you able to go in and out of prison to farm when some of us can't even go easily to see our clients? It came through relationship building. 3-4 years ago, I didn't have the kind of opportunity I have, right? It would take, to get approval, you would spend months and months. And I recall that if there was one approval that we were looking for to carry out an activity during COVID, that I personally had to go to the correctional service by Airport Road, more than 4 months. It wasn't forthcoming. And all that happened was I saw somebody who runs a similar organization. She had run this organization for about 30 years. And then I told her, and she was like, why should they be stressing you? We wanted to work with female incarcerated women to make face masks. And we were going to pay them to make face masks. So your mindset would be, I'm doing you guys a favor. I'm going to pay the inmates. I'm going to support your reformation work. Why are you not giving me approval? But I didn't get the approval. This woman called me and said, I spoke to the Controller General. Go and carry out your project. And it felt like film show. I went to the facility. They opened their doors to me. We carried out our project. Ladies, 2 months after we received a letter in our office, 2 months after we had implemented the project, we received a letter in our office, the official letter from the Controller General saying, you have approval to carry out this project that we had implemented 2 months ago. That implementation only came through relationships. So you want to also build relationships with the right people. The right people outside the government agencies, but even the right people within the government agencies. So basically, that's my response to you. Build thought leadership, keep trying, ensure that you have something that is different. There is nothing new, but you can always come up with policies in different ways, in different contexts, that, when you profile and then you show your numbers, you show that you've done your research, nobody would say no to it. Yeah, that's my response to you.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Adeoye. Another round of applause for that very insightful answer. Ladies in the audience, creating the impact that we want to see here. And I think that was it. Because of time, I have to cut this session short. Thank you so much, Ms. Adeoye, for making the time to give us the knowledge that you've given us and the advice that you've given us. We are truly grateful for the impact that you're creating. Thank you so much. Ladies, I need another round of applause as she's leaving this.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that wonderful session. It was very insightful. And on behalf of every sister here and online, we would like to scream a very big thank you for your knowledge and your wealth of experience that you've shared with us. And we want to give this to you as a token of our love.
Thank you. So guys, please follow me on LinkedIn. That's the fastest way to reach me. Oluwafunke Adeoye. That's the name. I thought we were going to take a picture. Yes. Thank you.
Can we put our hands together again for her? Black girls. Black girls. Can we clock it? All right, so we are going next to it. All right, so all of our sisters online, you can also use the chat box. You can use the emoji to show us how you're feeling and how things are with you. Okay, so now we'll be taking the business leadership and management session. And to facilitate this session is Lydia Kadenjo,
a computer science student, entrepreneur with an eye for leadership and innovation. She combines creativity with strategic decision making, and she will be facilitating this session online. So can we fix our eyes on the screen, please?
Black girls! Black girls! Thank you so much. Good afternoon, my ladies, my sisters, my mothers, my aunties. Thank you so much for, staying through with all of this. And it's a pleasure to be standing before you again. My name is Aisha Asila Ahmed. I've been introduced yesterday, so I don't have to go ahead, right? So, today, I'll be taking us through the business leadership and management session. And with us are amazing, amazing business leaders. Most of them will be joining us online, so we'll still be glued to the screen. Joining us today, we have Ms. Kawena Mwansa, who is a renowned human resources practitioner with over 15 years of experience working with multinational organizations. She holds a psychological degree from the University of Zambia and certified in organizational behavior, giving her a strong foundation in understanding people, leadership dynamics, and organizational growth. Ms. Mwansa is deeply committed in advancing gender diversity in leadership. She pioneers the Women in Boardroom program under the WEN Female Leadership Initiative. She's a groundbreaking platform, which is a groundbreaking platform that has certified over 500 women on board-ready leaders. Many of them who have gone to occupy influential positions across the sectors. I think with this bio, you could tell that for any of us that want to be on the seat in the boardroom, this is for you. Ladies, so help me in welcoming Ms. Kawena Mwansa. I hope she's with us now. Okay. So our second speaker for today is Ms. Rosane Kabangu, who is a distinguished corporate lawyer and social entrepreneur, recognized as a leading advocate for youth and women empowerment across Africa. She currently serves as a vice president of the African Women Leader Network and represents youth in COMESA, positioning her at the heart of continental decision-making platform. As the founder of the Liberia Group, she also actively drives the development of young female entrepreneurs and leaders through the membership programs. She holds an MBA and combines legal expertise with powerful social impact, transforming ambition into action for young women across the continent. My sisters, once again, join me in welcoming Ms. Rosane Kabangu. I hope she's online with us. Please, we can do better, please. We can do better. Thank you. And our final speaker for today is Dr. Fatima Farouk El Sheikh. We've been having a lot of doctors today, so I'm so proud. She brings over 25 years of experience in international humanitarian development work, and then she also serves in influential roles within the United Nations development programs across multiple countries. Her leadership earned her the National Medal of Honor from the President of Djibouti for her contribution to promoting inclusion and sustainable development. She is the Secretary General of the Arab Bank of Economic Development in Africa. Dr. El Sheikh, please, more energy, ladies.
Thank you.
So Dr. El Sheikh is also a global award-winning winner for her impact in youth employment and sustainability. Her academic background includes a medical degree and advances training in development policy advocacy service through the UNDP and Columbia University. She represents leadership with purpose, compassion, and global impact. My sisters, my ladies, all over Africa, online, in this room, please help me in welcoming Dr. Fatima Farouk El-Sheikh. Dr. Fatima Farouk El-Sheikh, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure. It's really a pleasure. Please, ladies, once again, a round of applause for her.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, and I think I really wish I was with you there in the room. But your energy, I can tell you, and the woman energy, the Black African women that are there, their leadership, their dreams are actually transferring through the media. We're very grateful for this Amazon initiative to get us together. I'm very happy. I'm very delighted. I enjoyed my day today with you.
Clock it. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's truly a pleasure to have you joining us today on this session. I have a few questions to draw insights from you, and I'm sure our ladies have a lot of questions to ask you. So, ma'am, drawing from your leadership journey, from your medical training to leading major development portfolios, and now serving as the Secretary General of the BADEA, what guide would you offer young African women who aspire to lead within the business institution?
So
I beg your pardon, if you can go to the second speaker and put me after, if that's possible.
Quite get what you said earlier.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I can repeat the question again if you didn't catch that, ma'am.
In a bit.
Okay.
Yep. Please. No. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh. Sorry, I didn't quite get it. Hello, Miss Ross. Get you earlier. I believe you're with us now. Hello, ma'am. Hello, Miss Rosian, are you with us? I think she's experiencing a little I think she's experiencing a little network setback, so I think we'll just go back to Dr. El-Sheikh and then we'll come back to Ms. Rosian. Dr. El-Sheikh, ma'am, are you still with us? Dr. Fatima, ma'am. Okay. I think we're having...
All right. Okay. All right, so we are experiencing a bit of technical issues, so we'll just move very quickly to the next session, and it will be to my sisterhood. So turn to your left and your right and say, hello, sister. Ha, are you fighting? Say, hello, sister. Me, I love you. And there is nothing you can do about it, ne? All right. All right, to facilitate this session is someone that I love to refer as one of our future. She is doing a great work. She's an author, a literacy advocate, founder of Book Borders. She believes that books are bridges, and indeed, if you listen to her, you would believe that school no be scam. Can we put our hands together for Miss Ashiziki? Ashiwaski. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name very correct. Let's do it better. She's 11. Can we do it better? Can we clock it for her, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashezi Akwashiki, and I am 11 years old. Today's session... Thank you. I'm honestly so excited to be here today Today's session is special because it celebrates sisterhood, the kind that lifts you up and cheers for you. My job today is to guide our conversation and keep this flow smooth. Before we begin our questions, it is my honor to introduce the phenomenal women joining me in this sisterhood session. First, we have Ms. Bale Zwane, a brilliant young leader from Prudence Secondary School in South Africa. She's an active member of the TheALI School chapter and a powerful example of courage, confidence, and youth-led leadership. Next is Ms. Ukamaka Inena Uku, a dedicated young female leader who has grown beautifully through the TheALI's mentorship program for 5 years. She's passionate about sisterhood, mentorship, and empowering the next generation. And finally, Ms. Achieng Akena, a respected board member who has spent the last 3 years working closely with young female leaders, shaping shared leadership and guiding girls to their own voice. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome these amazing women with another round of applause.
Thank you for having me. I want to say one thing. I'm so happy to be among the young female leaders in Africa. And just like yesterday and today, TheALI is 5. And it started just like from 5 to 10 people, 100 to thousands, and it's still counting. I remember what Mary Isabel used to tell us. Anytime we share our story, she will always say, I'm proud of you. Permit me, Ma, to return that to you. I'm proud of you. May the oil on your head continue to run on all the girls in Africa and also across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Zwane, as a young female leader and an active member of the TheALI School chapter at Prudence Secondary School in South Africa, what has your personal leadership journey taught you about confidence as a young woman?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Civic Leadership, a young female leader from Prudence Secondary School and also an active member of the Amazon Leadership Initiative. Now, when I was younger, I used to believe that confidence belonged only to people who were bold, outspoken, and fearless. Now, I thought it meant speaking loudly, being perfect, and always knowing what exactly to say. But through my journey with TheALI, I have learned something different. I discovered that confidence is not always loud, but sometimes confidence is quiet. It is choosing to show up even when you feel afraid. It is raising your hand even when your voice shakes. And it is believing in your voice even before anyone else does. Now, when I first joined TheALI, I did not see myself as a leader. I was shy, soft-spoken, and often afraid to speak in front of people. Now, I would have ideas in my mind, but I kept them to myself because I doubted that my voice mattered. Now, I believe that leadership was for the strong, the fluent, and the bold, not for someone like me. I sat at the back of the room not because I had nothing to say, but because I didn't believe I was worthy of being heard. But TheALI changed that. It didn't teach me leadership, but it helped me discover my voice. Now, through the workshops, discussions, and guidance, I began to understand that leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It is about being the voice that brings clarity, empathy, and impact. Now, TheALI taught me that I did not have to change who I am to lead. I just had to believe in who I am. Now, there was a moment I'll never forget. I was asked to do my first presentation with TheALI. I was scared and also nervous. When I stood in front of everyone, my voice began to shake. I forgot my lines and could not even finish my speech. I felt embarrassed and thought I had failed. But with time, I realized something powerful, that moment did not break me. It built me. It showed me that leadership does not disqualify you from leadership. It prepares you for it. for failing in front of people is better than hiding behind fear. Now, from that day, I stopped trying to be perfect and instead I started trying to be courageous. Now, since then, my leadership growth has been in ways I never imagined. I went from being afraid to speak to confidently leading group discussions, organizing activities, and even supporting other girls to find their own voices.
Thank you so much for your answer, Ms. Wani. That was a very powerful message. You said you don't have to change who you are to lead, you just have to believe in who you are. Your story reminds every young girl that courage is built, not born. And for Ms. Ukamaka, you've been part of the TheALI Mentorship Program for 5 years. How can older and younger women support, learn from, and uplift one another in leadership, career, and personal development?
Well, thank you so much for that question. One of the way the older women and the younger women can help each other is through mentorship, because mentorship creates a collaborative ecosystem that accelerates both personal growth and professional growth. The older women, before I go into the classification of mentorship, I have enjoyed mentorship with the TheALILF for quite 5 years now, and it has helped me in my career development. We have 2 types of mentorship. We have the structured mentorship and also the reverse mentorship. So I'm going to start with structured mentorship. Structured mentorship is the one that the career goal of the mentee is clearly defined. So what the mentee might be looking for in the mentorship might be career development, or to gain self-confidence, or for skill development part. So it's the mentee has to state what she or her wants from the mentorship. So, and in this mentorship is where the older women bring in their experience and their skill in order to mentor the mentee. And the mentors and the mentee are being paid based on their skills and also their career goals. So having talked about the structured mentorship, I will now go to the reverse mentorship. This is the opposite of structured mentorship in the sense that this is where because I believe so much in learning. Learning is a continuous process, and this is where the older women are now learning from the young generation. For example, we are in digital age, and with the invention of AI, most young women are equipped with the AI tools and also the digital tools. For the older women to be able to navigate the society, they have to learn from the young women in order to adapt with the changing nature of the society. So, but generally, mentorship helps a lot. It helps to build confidence, because I believe that a tree cannot make a forest. Sometimes what one needs is somebody that will remind her that you are at the right path, that your dreams are valid. And also, mentorship helps to, broaden your network. Through TheALI, I've known many people, like important people that I can actually reach out to, and that I have this, please can I actually get an information about this, and they will reply me immediately. So mentorship is very important, and is one way in which the older women and the younger women can help each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer, Ms. Ukamaka. I love what you said, especially the fact that the mentorship goes both ways. The older women bring wisdom and experience, and the younger women bring energy and new ideas. Yes. That is true meaning of sisterhood.
Thank you.
And is Ms. Acheng present? Ms. Acheng? Since she doesn't seem that she's present right now, I'll be going back to Miss Valley. Miss Valley, in what ways have you seen your leadership skills grow through your years in the Ali?
My growth has been quiet but powerful. I went from being scared of speaking in public to leading group discussions, planning activities, and guiding young girls. Now, I have learned to listen deeply, to collaborate instead of compete, and to support others instead of trying to lead alone. Now, the army taught me that leadership is not a solo journey, but it is a shared mission. And over the years, I've grown more responsible, more reflective, and more courageous. I learned to initiate ideas, to solve problems, and to lead with empathy. Now, my biggest transformation was emotional intelligence, understanding people and not just leading them. Now, I now know leadership isn't about standing in front, but sometimes real leaders stand beside or behind others, pushing them forward. Now, the early helped me believe that I'm not just a leader for tomorrow, but I am a leader today. So, what has my journey taught me? My journey has taught me that young women like me are not waiting to be empowered, but we are already powerful and we do not need permission to lead. We only need the courage to start. Thank you.
Present now, my question for you is, as a board member who has worked closely with young female leaders for the last 3 years, how can emerging leaders like us leverage the insights of experienced female luminaries while still forging our own unique paths?
It seems an easy question, but I think it's a harder question than what it seems, because the truth of the fact is that we're generations apart. Older luminaries have grown up and experienced life within a certain context. Younger leaders, young emerging leaders have also experienced life in a different context. Now, while I might be able to tell you about my experiences, the context is different. And so it's about finding that balance where you're not making the same mistakes that I made. So the point as an older person is to provide guidance. But I also can't hold on to stopping you from making your own mistakes because the context is very different. What may have worked in my context may not work in your context. I keep saying that I grew up at a time when, or rather, I was born at a time when the computer was an entire room, and now we're down to a time when the computer is not only accessible, it's available. We have the internet. There's more knowledge in this world. There's more options. I grew up at a time where the teacher and my mother were the biggest source of knowledge that we had. Now you know more than your teachers, you know more than your parents. And so the same tactics that worked for me may not work for you. However, there are lessons to be learned from my experience. Some things don't change so much. The place of women in the workplace, despite the advancements that have been made, that hasn't changed much. And I can be able to provide advice on how to avoid the vultures and the people who want to make use of free women's labor. And that's in the workplace, that's at home. Women's labor is always is still up till today considered as not worth compensating. And women, are always being expected to work for free. Or at much lesser pay. That hasn't changed. And so there are lessons there that I can share and I can impart. There are lessons about how not to give up, how to basically meet the challenges of your generation as I met the challenges of mine. And those lessons, I think, are those that a sisterhood such as that we have at the ALI can help. There are wisdoms that come with having experienced this life and this work that we can share, and we can relate with each other about some of those experiences. So I think in a mentorship, what has worked for me as someone who has mentored others is also being able to listen and be able to empathize with where my mentee is in that particular time of her life within her context.
The fact that with your experience, your advice, it's very impactful, but it's also important to recognize that times are different now. And my last question for Ms. Ukamaka. In your experience, what misconceptions exist between generations of women, and how can those gaps be bridged?
Okay, from my experience, there is one stereotype that young women are entitled because, we, the Gen Z young professionals, we have this confidence and assertiveness that we bring into our workplace, and they will always misinterpret it as that you are entitled. But one of the ways in which this stereotype can be breached is through mentorship, because I met Mary 5 days before my call to bar. I was just looking for a female lawyer that will actually guide me, and I come across to her LinkedIn, and I sent a message to her. She accepted me, and that is how the journey began. And it has taught me a lot, that it can actually be, have that confidence to be working and at the same time also pursuing your dreams. Sometimes I feel very overwhelmed combining both, but there was one time that Mary was helping me with my application, and each time she's responding to me, well, it should be around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I'll be asking myself, does she sleep? How can you be sending this? Like, I'll be getting her feedback around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So that gives me the motivation that in order for you to achieve it in life, you have to, just like the speaker says today, say you have to keep burning your candle. So anytime I feel overwhelmed, I'm combining chasing my dream and working at the same time, I would just be asking myself, what will Mary be doing by this kind of time, like 1 a.m.? So I have to just stay awake and do other things I'm supposed to do. So mentorship helps to break that stereotype, because you already know what you want and what you're chasing, no matter what people are saying. Because there was a situation that somebody walked to me and said, "Oh, Amaka, that you're hardworking, but you're overdoing it." So through mentorship, you can actually know that, oh, no matter what people are telling me or trying to discourage me, that I'm at the right path, that my dreams are valid. So that is what mentorship helps. Mentorship helps to bridge that stereotype that, people always say that young leaders are entitled. So mentorship helps to bridge the gap.
Thank you for your answer, Ms. Ukamaka. You've told us how important mentorship and communication is when we talk. You showed us how important mentorship and communication is. Once we talk with love and honesty, the walls come down. And because of time now, we're going to have to end the session. However, today's conversation has shown us something powerful. That when women come together across generations, we learn, we grow, and we rise together. Thank you so much to our incredible speakers, and thank you all for being part of this inspiring session.
Can we please give them another loud round of applause? So ladies, you'll have your opportunity to ask more questions about our programs and how to get into our mentorship program if you're interested, and how to interact with other YFLs as well. But right now we have just a short interaction, a moment of interaction with Dr. Fatima, who is joining us all the way from her respective location, and she would like to have a chance to at least speak to us. If it is possible for us to direct our eyes to her. Dr. Fatima, can you hear us?
Hello, good afternoon, sisters. I can hear you. Can you hear and see me? So
Thank you for joining.
I'm very pleased and honored to be with you today, and I really wanted to be in person in Abuja with you. But I think many of the young sisters, they will experience this as they grow in the career. As a woman, you really have to do more than what men are doing who are sitting on the same table like you. So I am very honored to be with you, and I really miss the fact that I'm not able to join you there.
Dr. Fatima, are you able to speak close to the...
Definitely, I can hear you quite well. Can you
Thank
hear me
you.
well? Is it better now?
It is better.
Do you want me to speak louder because I can get rid of the speaker, if that's better?
Yes, that's better. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, let me I'll remove the headset and then maybe I'll speak regularly. So, are you able to hear me better? Yes, okay. So that's good. Thank you so much. And I think I just didn't want to miss the opportunity. I've been listening yesterday and today, and I think it's a good opportunity for the young girls that are from across the continent to look at what we can do together and shape the future. So please, I think you had some questions to me. Go ahead. I think no one of us has a silver bullet of how we've walked the journey of an African woman trying to look at what she wants to achieve in her career progression. I think it's important that we recognize that each and every one of us will have her own road that she will have to carry. However, there is a common realities to all of us. One, we should not second guess ourselves. You are eligible to dream. Your dreams are doable. But then it means a lot of commitment from your side, a lot of dedication, and you need a supportive ecosystem. The supportive ecosystem can start from family, from friends, from mentors. And today we had a session about mentorship and the opportunities that mentorship can give to a young professional woman is a very critical role. When I reflect on my own personal journey from the United Nations Development System to the current position in the development finance world, where I work with the Arab Bank for Economic Development, the seats around the table are always occupied by men. And I think we make a critical mistake as women. Rather than competing with the men on their own domain and their own space, we compete with women because we think that this is an easier game. The slot was already secured to another woman, so we try to push that woman out. My token in that is, rather than pushing a woman out, make sure that you create a space for another woman around the table where you're able to have an additional ally, and you don't have to compete with each other. Second token, you don't have to be a man to succeed in your career. I think there is a balance that we need to encounter between femininity and the ambition and aspiration of a woman. We don't have to drop on our own responsibilities towards our communities, towards our families, and our belief. You don't have to mold yourself into any framework. The framework should actually accommodate you as you are. You have to create some bridges in terms of connecting to it. And as you are evolving in terms of personality and leadership skills, you will realize that you're not the same person who started the journey. The journey starts within you, inside you, by having a clear target and a clear goal. I think I was so inspired today listening to one of the sisters who spoke about her experience as a lawyer in the prisons. And I think I've listened to medical doctors, sessions around GBV. You see, a lot of us, we're not magical. We've walked your way. You will have emotions, you will have your own feelings, you will have your pain. Deal with all that aside
focus on your career, make sure that you succeed, and you do the next step in your career move. I'm happy to take any questions from sisters in the floor if you have any, but that's what I will say. Working for an MDP to me was not a journey about having a career position in a board or or making a decision about financing. It was actually making a transformative decision for what can empower girls' education, what can empower women business opportunities. And I'm very proud that through the bank we've managed to create a lot of finance through IFIs that can international local financial institutions that can lend further especially to SMEs that are owned by women. I work for a bank that has at the core of its heart a strategy that looks at SME empowerment and also looks at women empowerment as part of the critical pillars of the program. Finally, my main token on a career and aspiration for a young professional that even though the journey is not easy, you're not alone. There are many of us who had walked the journey. We don't think we have arrived. I think we can all walk it together. We will learn from you. You give us the energy. We give you back an energy. It's very important that we take that energy further to all of us. And I think it's important that we focus on the future generation and creating the space for other women through creating education opportunity. What makes difference in and having you around this room is the fact that you were able to get and access some education opportunity, whatever the type of education opportunity. So while you are getting educated, make sure that another girl somewhere in Africa, in Nigeria, is being educated and having an opportunity to have her own dream. And don't allow anybody to doubt your own dream. As a Black woman, you have the right to dream. As an African woman, you have the right to make your dream true.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatima, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak to us. I think she deserves a very loud round of applause. Can we all just show our gratitude and just wave and say, thank you, Dr. Fatima?
Thank you so much.
Can we have someone over the feedback mic so that she can hear us? Thank you so much, Dr. Fatima, for...
Thank you, Dr. Fatima.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm honored to be among you today. Thank you. And I regret that I was not able to join you. Thank you.
And we're hopeful for many more opportunities to be with you in person.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if the
anybody.
other speakers are online,
I'm
if
happy.
Ms. Hosian or Ms. Kawena is there.
I'm happy to mentor anybody who wants to have any information about where
Yes, please. Yes.
development is still. So they can reach out through your initiative to my contacts or through LinkedIn directly.
Please feel free to share with us your contacts so that our young female leaders can interact with you. I believe we have questions for Dr. Fatima. We'd love to know more about her. So once we have your contacts and your information, we'll be sure to share it with them. And please, you will be bombarded with so many questions because we have very intuitive young female leaders. But thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Another round of applause. Amazing. Thank you, ladies, for your flexibility. I believe that for now, we're just going to go for lunch. Or she's online? Okay. All right. Miss Kawena is using Mubanga Media. If you could please identify her media team. Mubanga Media. No connection. We're going to wait a little bit. No connection still from Mubanga Media. We're going to give it one more minute.
No connection.
No connection from Mubanga Media?
We have Umubanga.
Perfect. If we can connect to Ms. Kawena through Mubanga Media. Mrs. Kawena, can you hear us?
Hi, I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much for joining us. You look absolutely stunning.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, ladies. Black girl, your dreams are valid. What an honor to be here and to share my experiences with you guys.
Thank you so much for your schedule to meet with us virtually today. As I was saying, you look absolutely stunning. We're not going to take too much of your time, but we do have a few questions for you. And if you would also allow just maybe a minute more for one of our young female leaders to also ask you a question. But what we wanted to hear from you shortly, because we did not get the opportunity to introduce you, we wanted you to briefly share with us what you do in the business space as well. So the work that you do and the impact that you reach within the continent and beyond.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Kawena Mwansa, and I'm one of the directors here in Zambia at When Females Lead, which is a non-profit organization that basically mentors women across the continent of Africa to be competent and confident and to pursue their dreams. Within the organization, I look after a pillar called Women in the Boardroom, and my role is very simple. My dream is to see every ambitious woman in Africa take up a leadership role at the highest level of leadership. I've done that for the last 3 years now, and I'm proud to announce that I have mentored over 200 ladies here in Zambia. And of the 200 ladies, we have about 30 that have actually taken on leadership positions. Ladies, your dream is valid. It just takes a step for you to step into the right direction, the support system and the mentorship program for you to actually actualize what you desire within your heart. Outside When Females Lead, I am an HR executive and I've had over 15 years work experience, predominantly in the banking sector and FMCG sector. And I'm passionate about people, I'm passionate about talent and seeing the best in others. Thank you.
What a profile. Young female leaders, can you look at each other and say, build your resume? We're going to build our resume like Mrs. Kawena. Mrs. Kawena, you have a 15-year career journey. And we want to know, based on your journey in leadership at the intersection of business, the intersection of diplomacy, and even development, how was it navigating male-dominated spaces?
I think just like every other leader has spoken, I am passionate about today because when I listened in, I've been online for about 11, the key message has been around mentorship. I want every lady on the call to hear something. A mentor will tell you and guide you on what to do, and a sponsor will speak about you in rooms where you are not. Now, in respect to how I've navigated a male-dominated environment, the first thing I've always done is to work with male leaders as my allies. Because when I'm not in the room, they will speak about me, they will speak about my excellence, they will speak about my confidence. I never look at the male as a competitor, but I look at them as somebody I can collaborate with and work very closely. And the reason is very simple. We look at things from two very different lenses. So the collaboration is very important, but even more important is the sponsorship. Because when you are not in the room, they will convert your dream into a reality by talking about you and what you are able to do. And that is where the opportunity of your dream becomes a reality and you are able to actualize and create impact. So that's number one. I want each and every one of us today to remember that as we walk away from this mentorship session, we should understand that we actually need to invest in a sponsor. And every girl on this call should go out there and find a sponsor. The second thing is around your support system and your structure. You cannot do it without your support. You cannot do it without your family. You cannot do it without structure. You cannot do it without a community. Go out there and find a mini board committee that will cheer you on, they will affirm you, they will validate you, but most importantly, they will support you even when you're not able to show up.
We heard it loud and build your support network. Go and find a sponsor. Mrs. Kawena, if you are still there, do we have you for a few more minutes for just 2 more questions from our young female leaders, maybe one on site and one online? If that is okay with you, please confirm.
That is fine.
Thank you very much. Young female leaders, do we have any questions for Mrs. Kawena? We have one question here, if the mic can go to her.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I want to appreciate the
Good
work you're
afternoon,
doing
beautiful.
for young female leaders. And my question is, as an HR professional, you are basically skilled in managing skillful people and talented people. So you have your own NGO, right? How was it like in the beginning getting people who not just only understand what your passion and purpose was for your organization, but actually willing to put in the work, knowing that, okay, they have a full-time job? Because I'm currently running an NGO. I started it about a year ago in school, and then because I'm a person that volunteers a lot, I put in the work in places I'm passionate about. I feel like other people should do the same. But then you find people that are actually passionate about what you do, but they're not willing to put in the work to move it forward. And then you mentioned about having board who will actually push for the purpose that your organization stands for. So what is the process like? What are the things to look out for? How do you actually find these people? How do you know these people that will not just come in and then be stagnant? Yes.
Question.